Maisha Thomas, and I'm with Twisted Bit Equine. Let me turn the tablet volume down. But I'm gonna go over some horse health dental care. I have some tools, and I have my friend George here to help me show you guys a little bit about horse health care. Sorry, that volume was still a little loud. So, first thing I get asked is how soon and how often do horses need dental care? I tell everyone 6 months to 5 years. You need to get your horses checked every 6 months. There's so many changes going on. Baby teeth are falling out, new teeth are moving in. They don't always happen in sync and when they're supposed to. So it's really important to get them at least checked every 6 months. The biggest thing is caps getting stuck and getting lodged in there, and the adult teeth not able to take the space it's supposed to. So horses' teeth erupt 3 millimeters every year. And during that time, so many changes go on. And if a tooth happens to erupt a little faster than another one, that's when you start getting abnormalities like waves or hooks, points. Some of the things you may have heard your vet say, but it can get way more extreme. I've seen horses go crazy with behavior problems. I've seen horses die because they lack in nutrition. They can't masticate or chew their food properly, and they can't just get the nutrition out of the feed because it's not broken down. So I have George here. He died of colic. He's really old. He had decent dental care, but as you can see, he does have cheek teeth, tongue teeth. They go pretty far back. Some people are very surprised on how far back they go, but most of the time people just notice, oh, he's sharp on his cheek or he's sharp on his tongue. They don't see the abnormalities going on in the arcade. So what I do, pretty simple, going with my nifty little tools, and I take out the sharp points and the high points and really just get them nice and smooth so they can chew properly and masticate properly. There are hand tools that you can use. I use power now because I can get it a little bit more balanced, but it's really important to get them checked and keep their teeth properly occluding or properly closing down on each other so that the food can be broken down properly and can get into their stomachs. So I don't know how much you spend on your horse feed. I kind of spend a lot. But if you buy a $25 bag of feed and their horse's teeth are not properly done, you're wasting your money. It's going in one end and out the other. So when their teeth are not properly done, they just cannot grind it down. So you see horses dropping weight, getting really skinny, and everyone's like, I'm giving them tons of feed, and they're not picking up weight, and I just don't know what to do. And I get their teeth done, and within weeks, they're like, oh my gosh, I noticed such a huge difference. And it's literally because they can break down the feed with the way they chew, down, out, up, and they can break it down, and it gets into their body. They can absorb it, and it's really great. Now, older horses, a little different. You might have to make a soup to help them break down their feed. But in an adult horse, a healthy horse, they should be able to chew their food. So if you keep their teeth in check, they definitely can do that. And poor George, I'm going to move him out the way for a second because I know he's a little gross. But a lot of horses do have problems with weight, and it typically is because of teeth. Some horses as young, I seen one, it was, I believe, 12 months. He was tossing his head. He couldn't take a bit properly. They were actually going to sell him because of behavior problems. Turns out this guy had wolf teeth in his mouth. They're right here typically. He doesn't have any because he's old. But they can erupt from 6 months to 18 months. And it's a little tiny tooth that the bit hits when you're training them. They were just going to get rid of this horse. It was a very nice horse. All I had to do was go in there, extract it out, and within a week, that horse had a huge turnaround. He wasn't super skinny at that point, but he was just being aggressive because he was in pain. Horses can't tell you, hey, I'm hurting. So when you have behavior changes or physical condition changes, that's their way of telling you, hey, something's wrong. Can you help me? So I do recommend vets checking out your horse. They can do basic dental care. They're awesome at just getting them comfortable. But if you want a better, more fluid float, definitely a equine dentist in your area would be best. And they can teach you the difference between just going in there and hitting the high points and the sharp points and actually balancing the mouth and giving a real full float. That's the major part that I feel like is really important that people miss. So I don't know if you guys have any questions. It's a little hard to hear. I'm going to have to watch my tablet to hear your questions, but I would love to hear any questions that you have. So let me know.
Can you hear me, Maisha?
Sorry, I had to turn it up.
Can you hear me at all? All right.
I can hear you on my tablet.
Okay, perfect. So one of the questions that we had was, when a horse is tossing their head, do you recommend calling a vet out first or calling an equine dentist?
For tossing his head, I definitely would call it an equine dentist first. There could be a number of things. It could be the wolf teeth problem. It could be a loose cap in the back if it's a young horse. It could be a high tooth going on, or it could just be sharp cheek teeth. It's surprisingly enough, I've had horses with very well balanced mouths, just their cheek teeth were really sharp. So every time the leather strap barely bumped their cheek, it's shoving it into those sharp teeth and it hurts. And at some point, horses just get aggravated. Some are more sensitive than others, but a lot of the major problems is oral care, just getting it nice and soft and comfortable for your horse. Even if you're riding in a hack, I've seen horses in hacks toss their heads like crazy because it's still cheek pressure and it's still pushing your cheek into those sharp teeth. So definitely, I would definitely say get them checked by an equine dentist first. If there's other issues, other health concerns, take to the vet for sure. I gotta wait for the delay.
What function does the tongue have in this entire process, and how does the bit affect the tongue in kind of this whole equation? What function does the tongue have in this entire process, and how does the bit affect the tongue in kind of this whole equation?
I don't know so much about the bit affecting the tongue, other than maybe a bit being super sharp or more aggressive bit, or sometimes your copper bits, that's a really soft metal, can get nicks in it and irritate the horse. But since the tongue sits on the tongue teeth in the inside of his mouth, these get super razor sharp as well. And I've seen punctures and cuts along the tongue because the tongue teeth are sharp, or the lingual side of the tooth is sharp. And it can do just as much damage as becoming irritating or aggressive in a horse as the cheek teeth. But the tongue is also important in mastication, because as they chew and they roll their food back, the tongue pushes it further and further back. So if they have sore tongues and cut tongues, that also does contribute to being able to get that food properly digested and pushed back. Some of them are just sore and want to spit the food out because it hurts. But I have seen a lot of cut tongues from bad bits. Being able to get that food properly digested and pushed back. And poor George is fine.
Thank you. How does one get a horse call like this and be able to use it as a prop?
Poor George. That's not his real name. I named him George, but I think we called him Gray or something. He passed away from colic. So this is a real horse head, and I have clients that are going to donate me some younger horse heads. But he is helpful teaching. He really is.
Yeah. So what do you have to do to become an equine dentist, and how is that different from becoming a veterinarian? Yeah. So what do you have to do to become an equine dentist, and how is that different from becoming a veterinarian?
Well, vet has to go to school for like 8 years and spend a lot of money. I mean, we spend a lot of money too, but I think vets spend a little bit more money. And they can do further things like intense oral surgery that I can't do, of course. But I went to a school in Michigan, and I went to a hardcore every single day, Monday through Saturday class, 8 to 5. It's really intense. But they have about 5 schools in the United States and a few out of the country. And it's becoming a little bit more popular, but it's not that hard, honestly. You have to commit to the classes and commit to the cost. Um, but they do require in Texas to have a license and to be registered, a part of association, which just furthers our progress as a career and a profession, because they require continuing education and new changes in dental care. I get to stay abreast to those new changes, which is really great. Some of your backyard dentists don't have those type of knowledge and skills and tools, which is fine. They're still helping horses, but I like to do the best job possible. So I do stay on top of my education. I do stay on top of conferences that they may have for horse dental. I know that's so boring, but it's really important for me to get the proper education so that I can give you guys the best advice possible.
What advice can you give someone who is trying to start a business or start into this area and want to get clientele in their kind of environment or in their space? Trying to start a business and start into this area and want to get clientele in their kind of environment or in their space.
Are you talking about equine dental care or just any equine business?
Both, I guess.
Oh, okay. So I guess that's a good plug for me at this point. But I do a lot of marketing and try to get people that I know involved in helping me market or recommending me, taking pictures with their horses and sharing. But the main thing, I mean, I know social media is huge, but the main thing is networking, getting with other horse related industries and just sharing. I'm really big at promoting Black owned businesses on my Facebook. I don't care if it's horse related or not. I promote, I plug, I do as much sharing as possible so that hopefully they do the same for me. I also have a new business I just started, Twist a Bit Equine, and it's literally equine directory for the United States. If you're traveling and need a vet or traveling and need a farrier, you can find one nearby, or a boarding stable for the night. I love social media. I love blasting stuff on there, but really the best way to get your brand or your content or what you're doing out there is network with your sphere, your inner circle, people you already know that's in the horse world. I got a farrier. Hey, I'm going to give your card to somebody I know. Give my card to somebody you know. Do that reciprocating networking. Share other people's businesses. There's enough horses and enough people out here for all of us to be successful, no matter what industry we're in that's tied to horses or even not horses. But support other businesses, and then return likely they will support you as well. I know there's a lot of lag time. Sorry.
Thank you. Thank you so much for giving that advice. Networking is so important. So I don't have any other questions from our guests. So unless you have anything else to share with us, thank you so much for coming. And what's one piece of advice you can leave with everyone that, you know, if there was one thing you wanted them to know?
Yes. One thing I would want everyone to know is pay attention to your horse. Like I said, they can't verbally tell you what's wrong, but they can tell you with their behavior, the attitude, and any changes. I had a lady who had a horse. The horse was so great on trail, great everywhere. And one day out the blue, he just started acting abnormal, being very anxious, not wanting to take the bit, not wanting to ride. After looking in his mouth, he actually had a fractured tooth. That's a huge deal. And it was really hurting him. And she never would have known. His health was great. His weight was great. Other than a little attitude problems, she just thought he was just being a teenage horse. But horses will tell you. And the biggest problem in mastication is the abnormalities and the malocclusions. And they can be waves, they can be hooks, they can be really sharp points in the front, really sharp points in the back. And at that point, their behavior will change. Their weight may change. Pay attention to your horse. He or she will tell you something's wrong by the way they act. And if all else fails, get them checked for free. It's free to get them checked by any reputable dentist. They can look in your horse's mouth, say, hey, they need to be done now. They can be done a little later, or you can wait another year. If they're a good reputable dentist, they're going to tell you the truth. So at least get them looked at and at least get them checked if you notice something's off. If the dentist can't find that problem or see anything really wrong, at that point, then go to your vet for sure. But get your horse's teeth checked and recommend to your friends, hey, have you got your horse's teeth checked within the last 12 months? It's really important that everybody knows that dental care can go a long way at keeping a healthy horse for 30 plus years. And even your babies need to be looked at. Just remember that.
All right, Maisha, thank you so much for coming to.
I don't know if you're still talking. Sorry, because it's
we
still
are.
But I really do appreciate you guys having me on here, and I appreciate you guys marketing me, and I try to market you as well. So just thank you for your time.
All right, have a good one.
I cut you off. I'm so sorry.
All right. That was Maisha Thomas. Thank you so much, Maisha. You were fantastic. I love George. I love your setup. I love how passionate you are about dental health. And I am going to drop your Instagram in the chat. Let me make sure I don't get it wrong. Okay, yeah, there is Equine on the end. All right, Twisted Bit Equine. You can follow her on Instagram. You can follow her on Facebook, and definitely check out her directory of horse businesses. So, all right, thank you so much, Maisha. We are going to just play a little bit of music until we prepare for our 3 o'clock presentation by Ashani Hamilton. And yeah, enjoy, take a break, chat amongst yourselves in the chat. Check out our expo area. We have Oh Yes Equestrian Scholarship, or Optimum Youth Equestrian Scholarship. Acronym is Oh Yes. They are working to yes, ma'am. Okay. Apparently, if you have song requests, we'll drop them in the chat from the UK. But yeah, check out the expo area. Oh Yes is over there, and they have a video there that they want you to tune into. So help support scholarships that are crafted to give access to the horse industry to kids of color. So I'm gonna hop off for a little bit. I'm gonna play some music for you guys. Um, I will remind you. Oh, if you rode today or are planning to ride today, you have until 7 o'clock Eastern time. When we have DJ Mayer coming on, is gonna give us some tunes. It's better than DJ AJ yesterday. Okay. But we are going to announce our winners of our grand prizes for the trail package or the trail riding today. We have a huge package from Equitana. I mean, it includes so many things. Tickets to their event next year. It's got socks and hats and like all this stuff. And then a package from Sterling Essentials, as well as another mug from Never Not Goods. Okay, so tune into or go check the Black Equestrian Network Instagram page for instructions on how to win those things if you rode today. And then I will see you guys back here at 3 o'clock. All right.
Okay. I'm here. I'm in the office. The office is my truck. Just letting y'all know. How? So I'm so sorry. How do you want me to introduce myself? How you want this to go? I'm glad they got their water and use their bathroom, so
yes,
we can keep it going.
Go ahead. Tell people where you at, what you do,
and say hi.
Okay. Get into this thing.
Okay. First and foremost, thank you so much, Aubriana, Young Black Equestrian, and the Black Equestrian Network for hosting this wonderful event, this OG Fest, a virtual trail ride experience. I definitely want to thank y'all for doing this and, really making an effort in the community to bring us together and to bring awareness to what we do. Percy, say hi to the people. This is my goat dog, Percy. He is my spiritual son. And the companion of my soul. So where I want to go, so I am Ashani Mabala Hamilton. I was born and raised in Jamaica. I moved to America when I was about 11 years old. I started riding when I went to college. I went to college at Southern Illinois University in Carbondale, Illinois. And I decided to start riding because I always wanted to ride as a kid in Jamaica. And it wasn't really affordable in Jamaica or in New York. So I decided that the opportunity presented itself. So I was able to be one of the kids to work off their lessons and muck stalls, to be able to pay for lessons and move forward in riding. And right now, I am a spiritual leader. I do a lot of different things. I am a host. I am a farmer, mostly by day. I work with goats is primarily my primary animal. However, I'm working with a different array of different people at the moment in North Carolina. That's where I'm located at the moment, North Carolina. And today, Aubriana wanted me to talk to you guys about horses. And I said, what are we going to talk about? And horses is it's a conversation for me, as it is for a lot of people. It's, I feel like when I think about horses, I just think something mystical. I think something magical. I think something, it's almost like you become limitless in a way. For me, horses has been a significant avenue to re-liven my own spirit, to kind of shake my life up, in a good way, and to kind of make me think more positively about where I'm going and kind of focus on something else apart from like, all the other problems all of us have in life. And with horses, I want us to talk about just some of the different things that horses can do for us as people, and kind of just, they're not just an animal that we ride. It's more than that. And I have been able to have the pleasure of riding many of horses all over the world, in different countries, and just as a rider, but as somebody that loves horses in general and appreciate being around them. I really appreciate being around them. I teach a lot of people about empathy. I teach a lot of people about being an empath and the connection that empaths have with horses, the spiritual connection that we have, and the emotional connection as well. And that was actually the first thing that I experienced with horses. In the very beginning, horses was the first energy lesson that I ever had in my life. Horses, I remember exactly how it was. It was my coach. It was my trainer when I was at school in SIU. I was 18 years old and, been riding for about a couple of months. And I did the horseback riding class in school. And when I was there, my teacher, she put me in a round pen with this horse that I was riding named Dory. Now Dory was an old draft horse cross that, she was a bit stubborn, she was a draft horse. She was from an Amish farm or a Mennonite farm. And she put me in the round pen with this horse, and she taught me like the energy inside of me will match the energy inside of that horse. I can control the horse by the energy in my body. And I didn't know what was happening to me. Then when I was doing it, I didn't realize after all these years of what I was like understanding really, like why did God bring me to the horses? It was to teach me energy. And ever since that, I've never forgotten that lesson because it's such an important thing. It's such an important thing to understand about horses. Horses, it's truly an emotional thing. It's an energy thing. And I have been able to feel the horses that way while riding them, while ground working with them. And I feel like a lot of equestrians can relate to that one feeling. But I want you guys to understand that energy, in the sense of just your energy with your horse, is something that applies in your life as well. It applies with people. I think your horses can tell you a lot about some of the people that you hang out with, some of the people that are in your space. If you watch the horses themselves, if you observe them, you understand like their own family dynamics as well. If you ever have a chance to look at wild horses, horses and people are very similar in a lot of ways. But I think the major thing to understand what horses can do for you is it really helps you to trust in your own spirit, to kind of liven up your own spirit. When I got on horseback, I was 17 years old. That was the first time I ever rode a horse. And as a man, I wrote English. I wrote English because I grew up in Jamaica, so never really exposed to Western riding. So English riding was just always a thing. My father was cavalry, so he rode horses too. And I never got a chance to ride when I was younger. That was way before I was born. My dad was in cavalry. And when I first got an opportunity to ride a horse, like for myself, by myself, like in a lesson, I'll never forget the day because it hurt. One, guys in the crotch and an English saddle, any saddle, and you're first trying to learn how to post. It's real rough. But you you learn and you grow. But the major thing was I realized that I stopped thinking about every single problem that I had except riding that horse. Just except riding that horse. And I didn't realize again what God was doing to me. It was teaching me another way to meditate. See, when you're riding, this is how it was for me. This is my experience. When I was riding, every time I showed up at that barn, wherever the horses were at, everything in my life just vanished away from my mind except being at the barn, except being with the horses. And when you get into a routine of that, every week we had a lesson, every week we're at the barn. And I remember one time our coach was sick and we weren't able to go for about a month or so. And you started to wonder. You said, why do I feel uncomfortable all of a sudden? Like, why do we all feel so nuts? And we realized we didn't have our lessons. We didn't have our regular lessons anymore. And that's what was messing with us. It's like we were meditating this entire time while we were riding our horses, and we were just kind of in that mental space, in that mental, into that spiritual place for your own self, your own peace, your own harmony. And when we stopped getting it, our lives got more chaotic. And we realized, that's how I realized it. I was like, wow, this is something I need to do. This is something I need to keep having in my life. When I when I started riding horses at 17. So one of the names that they call me is the Jamaican Jumper. Jamaican Jumper. Man, I'm gonna tell y'all the story why they call me the Jamaican Jumper. I was called the Jamaican Jumper, but not just because I'm from Jamaica, but because I've always been, I want to be a jumper. Like I want to go high. The adrenaline for me just keeps me going. It keeps me just raw. And again, I transferred that into all of my schoolwork back then, and now I'm realizing I got to use that to transfer the energy into my business life, into my competitive life for my own self. And that's how you kind of keep your spirit going. But when I first went to school, Illinois, I went to Dunnebeck Horse Trials. Dunnebeck Horse Trials was I guess the 2-day event, or it was a 3-day event. 3-day event. And the way how eventing goes is dressage, then we have cross country, and then we have show jumping. And so it's 3 different phases for your horse. Well, the first time I have ever went to any event was this event. It was in Dunnebeck. And it was my host, my trainer. It was her family that puts it on every year. So it was real close to home. And what ended up happening was I was there and I was like, I'll volunteer. I just joined the equestrian team. I was like, I'll volunteer. This sounds like fun, and, jump right in kind of guy. And went out there, sat on a chair the whole day and watched people jump over jumps, watch people fall off their horses, watch people jump in the water. It was just like, what is going on? What are these people doing with these horses? What's happening? I was so perplexed. It was like, whoa, this is a whole other world. And again, like, I have a lot of, fire inside of me as a person. So it was just like, okay, like this is fun. So then after I saw that, I'm one of those people that when I see things, I get really inspired. I get really, really motivated to keep doing it, So I was like, okay, that was the first time I saw horses and people, competition, the whole vibe. That day, I ended up buying my first pair of breeches. Oh, man. For the lady in the blue trailer. Shout out. Buying my first pair of breeches. Now, in equestrian sports, men at the lower levels are not very popular, right? And then also black men at the lower levels are not very popular. So it's like you become a unicorn, whether you like it or not. And it's just one of those things where I feel like young black equestrians, and all of the minority equestrians across the world, I feel like for me, it's always been, it has nothing to do with what I look like. I just want to ride the horses. I just want to have fun. So that's always been my perspective. People say, oh, there's a black guy on a horse. Okay, we're still going to beat you though. That's what we came here to do. And again, like that's just my energy, my spirit. And when we were able to, I was able to buy my first pair of breeches at this event. And it was just a huge deal for me, 17 years old, like, always wanting to ride horses, and God just throw you at some event, the 3rd week of school, you're a freshman in college. It's like, okay, all right, God, let's go. So then 2 years later, in 2014, I competed in that event. On one of my best friends. She's like a sister to me. Her name is Kaylee Wallace. And I rode her horse, a gray thoroughbred, off the track thoroughbred named Latin Note. And I rode that horse in the competition 2 years later after seeing it. Never ridden a horse in my life, seeing it. And it was just like, I think about it now and sometimes a little tear will drop because, wow, you literally came to this place, saw these people on this horse, and you made up your mind that you were going to be one of them. You were going to be on the horses. You wanted to figure out why the horses were so special. And ever since I started on a horse, I have been addicted ever since. I was the person that on cross country, when I tell y'all I was loud, the full Jamaican in me came out. I was after every jump, first event, big deal. We've been practicing the whole year for it, just stuff of legends, And we were able to be out there, and just move forward and move forward into the event. And the entire time, you know what the biggest compliment I got was? I mean, this made me feel special because I stayed me, no matter what. Stay you, no matter what. Stay authentically you. I was going around the course, and after every jump, I was so excited. I was screaming. I was screaming at the top of my lungs. Like, for me, it's like you're in another world, okay? Cross country, you know, you're just out there in the woods. Like, it's almost primitive, you know? I felt like I was back in Jamaica, you know, I was Arawak Indian. But it's that type of energy, and I was just in there living it, you know, over jumps, things that you walked up to. I was able to. The horse was like, "Why are you worried? Sit down, and just hold on tight." And then I was just like, "Go, go, like go." And there were so many moments like that. There were so many pictures of just like over jumping all the jumps, just living the adrenaline, living the dream, living what you saw it was. And to this day, I don't think there was another moment. There was another moment that I remembered as much as that day. You know, being on cross country, I felt the definition of free. The horses made me feel free. Like I was flying. I was flying in another world, another dimension. And it was just the two of us. And you realize when you don't have that, how much you've missed it. You realize how when you did have that, your entire life was just in order. You had like a calm, a peace inside of you. You did what you were supposed to do. You were always motivated. It was because of the horses. It was because of the horses the whole time. Even when you take care of them, horses are very smart. They know who you are. They know who you don't like. They know, again, horses know who to bite, you know, they'll know who to push over. And, you know, and it's an ultimate lesson of trust and an ultimate lesson of confidence. And for me, when I was in Dunnebeck, and again, we finished all phases, you know, it was good. I learned a valuable lesson that last day. What is it? I was so focused on making sure that my horse was ready for competition. I forgot to get myself ready for competition. I was tired. I was so tired. I barely could kick my horse. They took away my spurs. I was mad, you know. But again, we made it through. We completed our first event, and that was my only event so far, y'all. That was my only event. And I think right now, all the work that I'm doing in my own business, you know, working with young Black equestrians, is to still stay connected. You know, I know God is going to put me back on the horses. The Olympics will see a Jamaican. The Olympics will see a Jamaican. I promise you that. And definitely shout outs to Lydia Haywood, also met through Young Black Equestrians as well, who is a recognized rider for Jamaica right now in the world. And again, it's all about, don't let nobody tell you can't ride no horse because of the color of your skin. That's what it all comes down to. That's what it all will come down to. And for the people that don't do that, you know, the people that are allies, that do support people being on the horses and, you know, just living your life and being free, thank you. Thank you for embracing everybody to be a part of this wonderful opportunity in the sport, in you know, just simply experiencing horses. I think nobody can say there's never a dull moment with a horse. There's never a dull moment with a horse. There's never a dull moment with a horse. And I sit here and I tell my story enthusiastically because I know there's so many people that think, okay, horses make me broke. You know how many people just would shovel all the horse shit in the world just to get a horse? So many people that will bathe every horse, piss test all the damn Arabians at the shows, like do the most just to even be able to ride the horse, much less to buy a horse. So it may seem like it is a burden, but you know why you did it. You know it's worth it. You know what the horses do for you. And the greatest part about the journey is the one thing I realized, and this is why I say the Olympics will see a Jamaican. It'll see a Jamaican, I'm telling y'all. How do I know this? With horses, remember I told you, I was so worried about my horse being healthy, I forgot about me being healthy. As long as you are healthy and your horse is healthy, you can compete no matter where you are in the world. It doesn't matter if you didn't start riding until last week, yesterday. It does not matter. I started riding when I was 17 years old, and 2 years later, I was competing in an event, a recognized USEA event. And it was the greatest moment of my life. I tell people, all your dreams will come true. You might be terrified what you wish for with the horses. But this OG Fest, this trail ride experience, how did I get ready for Dunnerbeck? I was on trail rides. I tell a lot of people that do a lot of show work, go on a fox hunt, go on a trail ride. Let your horses experience life without the sand, without the arena. Let your horses be a horse for a couple of moments. Let's see how you behave when your horse is in another situation. Because it's all about energy. It's all about emotion. Some of us, we're scared, not a horse. We're scared. The horse will trust anything we decide to trust. Anything we decide we want to have patience to get over. And that's a life lesson right there within itself. Anything you have patience to get over. Nothing is final. Nothing is here for one situation or another. One horse is different from another horse, just like how people are different. But we have to make a conscious decision to say, okay, what can the horses do for me? They can make me really happy. By myself. Think about that now. By myself. Go on a ride by myself. Every vision I have when I'm walking my dog, and y'all see how big Percy is? He's like a horse. Every vision that I have, it's like me on a horse, jumping some fence, Rolex, Kentucky. And this is how you keep the energy. This is how you keep the spirit. Keep thinking about the horses. Keep talking about the dream horses. Who's going to be your trainer? Where you want to go? If you just want to win a race. If you just want to go on a dope trail ride. Where do you want to go? Aspire with your horses. Go further with them. Go further with them. And the greatest thing I would tell you is horses teach you trust. That is a 2,000-pound animal between your legs. You gotta have some balls. You gotta have some huevos. You gotta have some courage. But that's why you ride them anyway. Because they're just like you. It's not for everybody. It's chosen. There's so many horses that choose their riders. There's definitely those. But the biggest thing is, it's about trust. Trust in yourself. Trust in your spirit. Trust in your energy. Trust in the reason why you ride the horses. But don't give it up. Never give it up. Remember, as long as you're healthy and your horse is healthy, you can go anywhere. You can ride anywhere. If they were to come next week, what? You and your horse jump a couple fences and be out. Okay? So stick with the horses. There's so many reasons to get discouraged. Nah. I'm here to tell you, all your dreams gonna come true. All the medals, all the ribbons, everything. So all your dreams gonna come true. Was that good, Brianna? Was that good, Brianna?
That was good.
Okay, good.
Fantastic. I was just
I like questions.
Huh?
I'm done. I like questions. I'm good.
Oh. Yeah. You didn't have to stop. I was just hopping on here to give you company and bring to you some questions if we have
questions
in the chat.
Okay.
So you gave us your story and you gave us some inspiration as far as continuing to ride. What do you have to say on the sense of community in the horse industry?
Ooh, this is a very, very, very good topic. I would say focus on the horses. When it comes to sense of community, I would say that we need more people focused on the horses. And in terms of what I mean by that is a lot of people get caught up in the ribbons and they get caught up in the money and they get caught up in, like the whole sophisticated apparent lifestyle or non-sophisticated lifestyle of horses. And I think that a lot of people are forgetting the art of the horseman and the horsewoman. And I think that what is coming back now around, we need more support of people that are supporting the horses and those specific, those organizations and those people that are going out of their way to support horses and to make sure that, that horses, not just in a riding standpoint, because you can make money off of them, but the spirit of the animal is still intact. The spirit of the being itself that's working with you, that's there with you, that's supporting you emotionally. Like that animal is still like taken care of. And I've known a lot of people from a lot of different barns. There's a lot of people that come from barns that they've never had to muck a stall or exercise their own horses. They just came and got a lesson and they left. And I want to encourage those people, as well as the people that do have to do the lessons and they do have to do the mucking of their own stalls and keeping their own horses. Taking care of your horse is something that is teaching you responsibility as a human being. You know what I mean? And I think that is more of what we need in our community is we need to care more about what we're doing so we can stay and keep doing it longer and our industries can keep flourishing. You know what I mean? I think that's the biggest, and education about that. One thing I love about you, Ariana, is that's a big thing, a big tenet about you, you know, is bringing education. I call it bringing light. That's all that light is. Light is information. You can sit in the darkness with ignorance, or you can stand in light and stand in your truth. And that's why I think about the community in the horse world. Mm-hmm. But you want to ask any specific questions about that, I would encourage you.
Caitlin asks, how do you think we can change the horse industry to care more about the horse?
Oh, I think it definitely starts with ourselves. Be the change that you want to see in the world. I love the people that are rah, 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 but rah, rah, do too. Don't just set a goal, do a goal. And again, it's just like, you care, speak up. Brianna cares, Caitlin cares. I know a lot of other people that, you know, they make a name for themselves. Everybody can make a name for yourself. Everybody can be that person that, you know, that wants to stand up for the horses. It's just, and if you meet people that are aligned, help them. Don't just see Brianna and Caitlin doing all this stuff by yourself. You can be a part of the team. They need help. If you're a part of the team, we can grow better. We can grow faster. We can grow more efficiently with more people all over the world. So it's one of those where commit to your mouth. Commit to what you're saying. And when I say commit, I don't just say, oh, we're going to go and do this trail ride thing. No, show up to the trail ride. Bring a friend. You know what I mean? Do the most for your friends and for the organizations that you say you stand up for. You say you stand up for. I hope that answered your question, Caitlin? I like that question.
I like that. I've been writing down quotes that people have been saying in our sessions here.
Since the beginning, yes.
Yeah, just because I want to be able to kind of come back and say, hey, this is kind of some of the things that stood out to me, because I'm consuming this information too.
Absolutely.
You know, bringing everybody together is fantastic, but it's because I want to learn too. So I really like what you said. Commit to your mouth. You know, a lot of things that can be taken in a variety of ways.
I understand how, but at the same time is like, even if you say something shitty, admit that you say it. Own your mouth. You know what I mean? Like, own what you say, because then you'll be more careful of what you are saying. Words, thoughts are things, and words create reality. So it's like, what is coming out of your mouth, you need to be responsible for it, because it's still affecting people whether you like it or not.
Right. And I was thinking of it more so from a manifestation standpoint. Mm-hmm. I don't know if you were tuning in early. I know you were not, because I talked about you earlier. So
that's funny.
I have got to get you connected with a previous guest that we had.
Okay, you know I like new friends.
But we will have, this is recorded, so we'll share this when the event is over. But yeah, committing to your mouth, manifestation, talking about what you're gonna do. You know, it can be big, it can be small, it can be 5-year goal, it can be next week goal, but you know, getting thoughts out of your head and speaking it into existence and getting it down on paper.
Yes, you know, capture your thoughts. Yep.
Just getting it out there so that you can actually progress forward to that. I've learned, I'm not good at this at all, but I've learned that is pretty much the way to go. And
you're very good at this.
Like you said earlier, speak about which trainers you want to work with. You know, if you start saying stuff like that out loud to people, and you come across
Oh,
someone
you'll be
who
terrified.
knows.
You'll be terrified. You hear me?
Yeah.
Terrified when a busy Madden call your phone and you're just like, wait, whoa, what's going on? And they're like, oh, I heard that, I heard through the Vine that you wanted us to help train you for the Olympics. I'll be at your house tomorrow, BZ, tomorrow.
Oh.
That's how quickly you do it, because you say you want it. And that's another thing. You're so right when you talk about manifestation: seed, time, and harvest. And it's like faith without works is dead. So don't just open your mouth, go do something, and then it'll happen. Literally. Seed, time, the time that you're taking, right? That time is to work on it, right? And then harvest, you're going to get what you want. So that's a formula for manifestation. And what you're talking about in terms of even the depth of this conversation right now in the horse world this is what I'm talking about. You know what I mean? We're getting down to the nitty gritty of life questions, but how horses help us answer those questions. And I think that's my favorite thing about life. God, like, it's like you didn't have you, but God was like, give me a moment. I'm going to send you a really, really, really good horse that's going to teach you how to like believe in yourself. And that's what happened to me. The horse was like perfect. And I was just like, okay, let's go the whole time. The whole time. It's like you didn't know you needed that. You didn't know you needed it until you realize, oh shit, like this is a really tough time in my life. I'm really happy I have this horse to ride. Mm-hmm. And you didn't know.
Yeah. Yeah. So do you want to share your latest ventures?
You want me to share? Okay, yes, I would like to. I'm learning how to, me and Brianna, we talk about this a lot, being proud of our businesses and shining through as young people. So currently I am the founder and executive director of the Farm Ambassadors Foundation. The Farm Ambassadors Foundation, our mission is to create 1 million self-sufficient legacy farms all over the world through education, empathy, and entrepreneurship to address global food security. I'm very proud of myself for how I said that. Yes, Brianna will be proud too. But right now we are in the planning stages of the organization. I have the absolute pleasure of working with my dream team of young people, older people. On our board, we have a lot of really good people of industry from different industry. Dr. Robin is one of them as well, through different organizations that we work with. But I'm like a headhunter. I am the person that if you need something, you call my phone, and I'll find you somebody to help you to be able to get where you need to go. I would say mostly right now I'm just building myself. I'm 25 years old. So for me right now, it's choosing myself and choosing my organization for ambassadors. And again, what am I trying to do? I'm trying to have horses, sponsored by the foundation in the Olympics. You know what I'm saying? Like those types of movements, and try to really help some other people along the way and be able to move forward. One of the adventures that I have is the Cool Ridings with Lydia Haywood, as writers from both of us. She represents Jamaica and she lives in the UK. And I am a Jamaican and I live in the US, and my goal is to represent Jamaica as well. And Cool Ridings, you can find us on Instagram, and you can follow me as well at king.ashani mabala. That's KING.ASHANI And I am a spiritual leader. I am a professional motivational speaker. And I don't know, I do a lot of different things, but mostly I'm just being me. I'm just being the multidimensional me that God told me I was supposed to be. And I would just want to encourage other people to do the same. Don't put a cap on don't put a cap on like what you think you can do. Like you can do anything you say you want to do. You just have to commit to what you say you want to do. I have said I wanted to be a lot of things, and all of them have happened, and all of them are still happening. So it's all about just being committed to you and choosing yourself, overcoming your own issues so you can become better for yourself and the people around you. And this is one of the things that I teach. You can follow me on YouTube as well. Same thing, King Ashani Mabala. But no, I'm a farmer. I'm just a farmer from Jamaica. You know, I'm just out here trying to live my best life. I'm trying to get my goats, and that's it.
Wait. So I
Do a
learned
lot.
about this.
Okay, good.
I was schooled earlier for this
Okay,
word,
good.
trying. Okay.
Oh yes, I do
Word.
that.
They told
We're
me
doing it. We don't try.
they stopped me mid sentence and was like, "No, you are not trying to
We're
do
doing.
anything. You are doing it. It's not completed. It is a journey.
Yes.
It's
Yes.
you know, there's no date like boom, done.
Yes.
You know, it's a journey. So the word try is not allowed, and it's
Do or do not.
something that's in progress.
Yes. Yes.
You
yes.
are, you will, you must, you know, more definitive,
Wow.
not wish you like,
It's hard. You know what it is? I'm so happy you called me out on it. You know me, light me on fire.
I got called out, brother.
Oh,
I'm just returning the favor.
And what it is, and this is what I want to explain to a lot of people. This is what real friendship is. This is what real, you know what I'm saying, love through brother and sisters are, because don't let me sit here and be something not in a good light of my own self, you know? And this is what's important. No, you're right. It's no tries, do or do not. Either do it or don't do it, but decide that you want to do it or not do it. You know what I mean? But just stick to your decision. And I highly agree. Percy, you don't have to be breathing so hard in the live, bro. You don't have to be this extra at all. It's taking over the show. He's a Capricorn. It's okay. It's okay. We're gonna leave soon. But yes, no, like everything that we've talked about today. Does anybody have any more questions at all?
Yeah, I just
I will give them my phone number. If you would like to reach me, my number is 347-691-9270. Just text me your name and what you would like to speak to me about. I'm a very direct person. I'm a very go with the flow young man. I'm the person that will just answer the phone and say, "Hey, what's up? How are you?" And then, you know, "Hey, how's it going?" Like that's definitely me. But at the same time, we get business done. We move in formation. We don't wait too long, and I get real Jamaican with y'all. But that's the biggest thing, is moving forward with your friends, moving forward with good vibes, moving forward with good people that want to be here, on your horses, off your horses, but just be a good person. Enough is enough. No more emotional terrorists in the world. And that's like the major thing that I've been like teaching the past couple of weeks, Aubriana, is just, people with bad vibes are weird. Go home. Stay home. Don't even leave your house. You're annoying the world. Again, be a friend or shut up, and I mean that. And everyone knows that I mean that. Like I'm definitely the bully's bully. Like, don't let the smile fool you at all. Like I will do what I have to do to defend the people that, that don't have a voice. And that's the way it is about with Farm Ambassadors for us, is, showing some respect to the people that grow your food, show some respect to the people that, have putting food on your table. They're feeding your families and feeding communities all over the world. So I'm excited to be here, Aubriana. Do you have any more questions?
What part of North Carolina are you in?
Okay, I am in Greensboro at the moment, but I can be anywhere in North Carolina within a couple of hours. Just call my phone. Just call my phone. Yes. We're trying to get our clipping game together. I'm trying to start clipping horses, but I need a good teacher. I can groom dogs and goats, so I just need to learn how to do some horses now. But I can do a tail. I can braid a mean tail now. Some dressage braids. Don't play with Ashani now. We Jamaican. We know how to do everything on a horse. Sew them in too. Don't play with me. My father taught me how to sew too. Don't come for me now. You show up.
Maisha says, your horse is your partner. Care for them and they will care for you.
Yes.
Or they will take care of you.
Yes. Just really and truly care about them. Like, I love those people that are obsessed with their horse. Like, no, he can't touch the ground right now. And I'm just like, you know what? I'm not even mad. I'm gonna leave you alone because it's your horse. It's like your kid. Like, I'm not even gonna tell you you're being overprotective with your kid because your horse, And a lot of people, they'll say, oh, this person is doing too much with this horse. Just you do the most with your horse. Make sure his coggins are good, Make sure his teeth are floated so he's not biting people, And again, I'm that person. I'll show up at your farm. Your horse is too fat. You need to trim him out. Cut him out. You know what I mean? He's going to die. Don't do it. Like, let's save his knees, arthritis. You don't need the medical bills. Just keep a healthy horse.
Yeah.
And we're Americans. We like feeding things. So it's a part of who we are. I
Yeah.
can't say I'm not American. I've lived here half my life now, you know?
Yeah, yeah. So you should be getting a text. Jasmine Anderson says she is in Greensboro also, so don't be surprised.
Okay. Oh, does she have horses? I like to catch ride, just letting y'all no nutsos. I'll be honest with y'all. And y'all know if y'all horse is crazy, don't put me on a horse. But I love catch riding. I have my boots literally in the truck. My helmet is in the truck with me right now. My Charles Owen, we're ready to go. Got my gloves. My breeches are on deck. If you need your horse trained, no. Take that one back. Commit to your words. If you need your horse exercise ridden, not trained. Not trained, okay? Not a trainer. I will exercise your horse. I will lunge your horse for an hour and a half. Happy, okay? Happy. I'll sing music to the horse, okay? He'll have manners when he's done with this Jamaican, I promise you. But that's the only thing I can promise is I'll ride your horse out good and we'll have a good time. We'll have a good time. Bonfires and all, right, Aubriana?
Yes.
Bonfire. And again, blessings be to everybody that's out there on their horses at this OG fest. Man, it's a hot day. Power to you. I can't wait to be out there with my horse when, next year, this time. I'm calling it into existence. But this is what it's all about. This is what it's all about. Is there any more questions or comments or concerns?
No more questions. No more questions. And I'm gonna I guess I'll let you go. We'll have some time to prepare for our next speaker, my better half.
Yes, play some music again.
Yeah, a whole vibe. Like I got this whole playlist. It's amazing. It's organized. Like
it's organized. Yeah, I hear Aubriana. It's organized. Yes. And when she says it's organized, she means it's organized. All right, organized. But it ain't organized. Organized, right?
You are so silly. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on here and giving us some a little bit of motivation as well as just some inspiration to keep riding and keep being your authentic self.
Yes, be you. Everybody else is taken and they're boring. You're fun. Just be you.
All right.
You have a good one.
You too. Bye.
Blessings be. Percy, say out. Deuces. All right. Y'all have a good one. Blessings be.
Bye. All right, everybody. Take you a little potty break. Get you some snacks. Refresh your drinks. And we will be back in about 10 to 15 minutes to chat with Caitlin about non-profitry. I don't know if that's a word, but it is today. All right. See you in just a second.